There was this Google review we got from this guy who was like, normally I would say they should trim their garden, but the garden should actually grow bigger so you don't have to see all the hairy legged and armpitted women dancing around in the front yard. And it was just the greatest thing I've ever seen. I really felt so seen in that moment.
I mean, is it too on the nose to say we're a bunch of queer nerds? Like, probably.
They either think we're a frat house, a brothel, or a boarding house.
In order to give the audience a certain scale of magnitude, we essentially live in a mansion.
It's my understanding that it was previously a like an antique style, like flea market type thing. Like the basement, the whole basement, the kitchen, the bike room, all of it was like a sort of like find what you can, kind of like Larry's next door, run by two gay men who had owned it for a long time. And I think maybe upstairs was offices or something like that.
I mean, to me, I think that the kitchen is actually kind of the hearth of the home, and there's almost always someone in there, and it's a large enough space that it's very nice and it can be very social and it just attracts people. It's sort of where bikes go in and out. So if you want to find people, that's a good place to go. And I've had a lot of nice social experiences there, and I think probably communally that's probably where I spend the most time.
The kitchen. The kitchen is like a pretty central meeting. Like people just hang out because that's where all the food is. And there's chairs, and we have like a nice little island bar type table thing in the middle. In the middle, people sit around it and cook for each other and stuff like that.
Being in the kitchen in winter when it's snowing and it's just like, and you're like washing dishes or something, and it's all this warm light and it's the warmest room and it's like snowing outside, that fills me with a lot of joy. But when they were doing all the work on the house, the I heard the only working kitchen slash bathroom was the slop sink in the laundry room now, and that room was like everything. It was where you cooked, it's where you bathed.
Being here, I think the biggest distinction is always having what you need.
There's just like so much shit around here. There's just so much. There's a fucking skeleton and a wig behind you.
I always start my day on the porch with my coffee in the morning. Um,
In fall, actually around this time of year, we have a little space heater, and Rachel and I will bring it out and put it underneath a blanket over our legs, and we'll just sit there for hours.
If you're just going through a really rough time and you need someone to talk to, we have designated people in the house that you can talk to, and we have multiple of them. So that way, in case for some reason that you have a personal issue with one of them, there are others to choose from.
Having those shared responsibilities and trying to dismantle the nuclear model and the isolation of the nuclear model, I think is one of the more radical things we do.
no, I think it is generally been people with certain shared base values around the power of collectives and a certain shared analysis of the world and power, who are coming together to share resources to live in an affordable and sustainable and ideally ethical as possible way under capitalism.